All right.
This is the moment we have all been waiting for. Those of you who are studying right now, you can keep studying and working on your computers. You're about to be experience something pretty cool. We're going to have a little songwriter in the round thing going on here. What's going to happen is I'm going to ask these musicians some questions, and they're going to answer them and talk and have a little conversation about their songs and the songwriting process. And two of them are very nervous because they've never done this before. So we're going to make sure we ask really hard questions of them. One of them is this is like second nature for him. So, and then they're going to have a chance to ask each other questions as well. And the cool thing is, if anyone here has questions about their songs or the songwriting process, or if there's just some kind of question you always wanted to ask a musician, like why the heck would you want to be a musician? Because that's a sure ticket to a life of poverty. This is your chance to ask them that, and you'll probably get a really good answer. Or they'll probably be like, well, I thought musicians, made tons of money. That's why I don't want to do it. I'm all about the money. All about Benjamins, right? Okay. So my name is Father Josh. I'm the owner of the Fig Tree, and I get to be the host of this Songwriter Circle in the Round. No, Songwriter in the Round. All circles are round. So technically, it is a Songwriter Circle in the Round. We're kind of like a semicircle, but it's a round of all three of you, so we're just going to call it Songwriter in the Round. Does that sound cool? Okay, so I am the owner of the Fig Tree, and a little background on the Fig Tree in case you didn't know this. We opened the Fig Tree for multiple reasons, a little over 7.5 years ago. One of the reasons my wife and I opened the Fig Tree was so that we could have a space here in Roseville where musicians could come and share their music with others. I've been involved in the music world in one way or another for over 30 years, and one thing that I've found, especially when I was managing bands, is the biggest obstacle musicians often have to being creative and to writing songs is they don't have a place where they can share the end product with people. And having an all-ages venue where people can go and share their gifts and talents is a great way to help cultivate a local music scene. And 8 years ago, there really wasn't that much of a music scene here in Roseville. If people, especially people who were under 21, had songs that they wrote, there weren't a lot of places they could go to play and perform those songs. And the Fig Tree helped to fill that gap, and I'm glad to say that ever since that moment, there are now plenty of places around town where you can go and play and share your music with others, which is pretty awesome. But I'm glad that we got to help create a space that could cultivate a scene where people could share their gifts and talents with others. So with that kind of an introduction, we're just going to jump right into our showcase for this evening. So first off, since most people here maybe aren't aware of who you are and you don't all have name tags on, actually none of you do. So we'll start over here and we'll just pass the mic down. Why don't you introduce yourself and share with everyone how long you have been writing original music. How about that? That's a good opening question.
All right. Well, my name is Alec Ogston.
Woo!
I've been writing original music since I wrote my first song when I was like 6 years old. But I really started writing songs when I was like 17, 18.
6 years old, first song, really?
Yes.
Was that on a guitar or?
No, that was on piano.
Piano.
That song is called Dreams of Forks.
Do you still perform that song?
I still remember how to play it. I haven't played it publicly.
Dreams of Forks?
Dreams of Forks.
Wow. Was that a true story?
No, it's supposed to be dreams and thoughts, but I had a bit of a speech impediment at that age, so it came out Dreams of Forks.
Okay, that works. That's good.
And that was the first song I wrote, 6 years old. And then I really started writing songs on guitar when I was 17 or 18 years old. I'm going to play one of those songs tonight.
Excellent.
Those songs. And yeah, I won't say exactly how long that is because my age is a closely guarded secret. So, yeah.
Yeah, mine too. I understand.
Microphone. My name is Anthony. I've been
What's your last name, Anthony?
Boccaleoni.
Boccaleoni. That's important for promotional purposes.
Plug.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
Spotify,
We like to
Spotify.
promote Spotify and Instagram and social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Boccaleoni, right?
Yes.
I love it. I remember how to spell your name. That's amazing. Okay.
I've been writing.
Sorry. Continue.
I've been writing music since 2021, which will start with a couple really bad songs.
Awesome. Do you still play them?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, we could have a thing tonight where we ask people to play the worst song they've ever written. That might be fun. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Okay, so 2021, you wrote your first song.
It was on guitar, and it was really bad, so I decided to continue to write so I could write better songs that weren't as bad. And then I put them on Spotify. And since 2022, I've had like lyric songs on Spotify, but before then, I had like instrumental albums. And for some reason, I made an album before I even learned how to play guitar. So there's a whole bunch of music that's like super complicated now to like really bad earlier. But I changed everything up, so there's a bunch of good stuff on my Spotify page, Anthony Boccaleoni.
Good promo there again. Excellent. Okay. And our third performer this evening.
So, I'm Brendan Spites.
Hello, Brendan Spites.
I've been playing guitar for like 8 years, self-taught. I probably started singing and writing at the same time. I've been singing probably 2 years after I started playing guitar. So my first 2 or 3 years of guitar playing wasn't very consistent, just kind of off and on. Music's kind of always been in my family. My dad plays. He's been playing for like 40 plus years. His whole bloodline, so his father, his dad, they all played guitar, all self-taught.
Nice, okay.
So it's always kind of been there. I got a guitar actually when I was like 5. Never played it really. Played it for like a week. And then right around like 8th grade, I picked it back up again, which was the same guitar, like a tiny baby, almost looked like a ukulele.
Nice.
And it did not sound very good, but I played it and then I never stopped. And then a year or so, 2 years ago, I was in a guitar class at a college I go to, and they had the teacher was looking for a place to get some of the students to perform and go to an open mic, and he found this place. And
I was there.
you were
First
there.
open mic night, I remember well. Yeah.
And so I've just been coming here ever since. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, more about that in a few moments. So what we're going to do now is invite each musician to come up and play a song. I would like you to just share a little story about the song you play before you play it, so that we, have more of a window into your soul before you bare your soul with us all through music. How's that sound? Well, you spoke first, so you should probably go first. Plus, you're more seasoned with this, and this way, these two shy guys over here will be like, oh, that wasn't so bad. I can do that. I can bare my soul and talk about the song that I'm about to share. So take note of the fact that there is absolutely no shame in original musicians having their songs written down. And like some people assume that if you write original songs that you just have them all memorized.
Well, I used to memorize every song I wrote, but there's only so much room in my brain. After you've written a certain number of songs, you can't memorize a new one without forgetting an old one.
Yeah, I've heard that the Rolling Stones on this current tour have a bunch of lyrics written down to some of their songs, because Mick Jagger doesn't always remember all the lyrics. So there's no shame in that whatsoever. It's okay. Hey, welcome.
It's not quite as old as Mick Jagger, but
if
memory is going.
If you have questions for any of our musicians, you're going to have a chance to be able to ask questions. So enjoy, but also if you want to ask questions, this is your chance. Best if the questions are probably music related. I mean, if you want to ask them about like astrophysics or...
No, you can ask me about astrophysics.
Well, that's true. You could. Okay.
I studied physics in college, so if you have any physics homework questions, you're welcome to ask me.
We'll come back to that one in a little bit. That's good. Okay.
Anyway, are you going to ask me a question about this song, or should I just tell you?
Well, you should tell us about the song.
So this is, I'm going to play both the newest song I've written and one of the oldest songs I've written. This is the newest one that I wrote just in the last couple of weeks. It's called All in All. I'm telling Brendan, we were both saying that we write songs by just picking a word or a phrase and then seeing what comes out. So this song is based on the phrase all in all, which I never quite knew what that meant, but I like the word all, and it's got a lot of things that rhyme with it, so let's write a song that starts with the word all and rhymes things with it. So that's how I wrote this song. When I first played it, it was I had a bit of a hang-up because it came out sounding just like Mr. Tambourine Man by Bob Dylan, and that wasn't any good. So hopefully it doesn't sound like that anymore. It goes like this. You getting any signal there?
Mm-hmm.
It's called All in All.
This one.
All in all, I can see myself for you. If you should want me to, so it goes. Future cannot know what we would have together if we wandered through. So I guess time will never tell. No regret, maybe just as well to say goodnight. All the time, all my friends tell me I'm too young for one to feel this way. So it went for days being spent on the roads that go some other place. So I guess miles along the way, all we get to remember yesterday, say it was alright. All the same, there was no one to blame for time gone by since you've been gone. After all, winter follows fall, and spring would not be here for long. So I guess time will never tell. No regrets, maybe just as well. All in all, so I guess time will never tell. No regrets, maybe just as well. All in all. All in all.
Since you asked, I don't think that sounded much like Tambourine Man at all. And even if some of the chords were the same, I mean, there's only so many chords you can use, you know, in music. So there's bound to be repetition of chords here and there. Does anybody have a question for Alec, having heard that song? Just checking, just giving you a chance.
Oh,
yeah. Go
you
ahead,
said
Sam.
that you wrote it recently. How recently did you write that?
Within the last couple of weeks. It's
Okay.
kind of hard to say when exactly a song gets written because it kind of comes out slowly. But
Yeah.
just in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay, well, let's pass over to our next musician. You can actually just get up and play your next song and talk about it before you play. Tell us what it is. And for those of you who just got here, this is Anthony Boccaleoni, who is on all social media platforms. He's learning how to promote himself better. But
It's super easy.
super easy? Yeah, so you say.
I totally don't like that. Avoid it.
Let's put this in order. Okay. Wow, you're tall. Alright, okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so the first song I'm gonna do is going to be this one. Why not? Okay, so this one is called Raven. This one was written in May 2024. I released it in November 2023. Plug. Spotify.
That's good. You're learning. You're learning.
I'm so cool at this. Okay. And so basically this song was written because I'm a big Paul McCartney fan, and he has a lot of songs about birds, more than you would expect. He has Blackbird, Bluebird, and he has Winterbird. It's like 3 songs about birds, 3 whole songs about birds. So I'm like, why don't I write a song about a bird? That seems kind of cool. So I wrote one called Raven. And the raven is a metaphor, and it tells a story about a depressed person and the troubles they face in life. My music is very dark, but I'm a very happy person, so just keep that in mind. Okay.
Raven crows, raven dies a hero, a raven flies, and lets her see you can climb. When you're flying through the valley, will you find the time to say goodbye? And when you fly over the oceans, will you send my letter to my lover? Raven cries through the night, picking her wings up to wipe off their eyes, and never again would she call them friends. Everyone talks about her, but she doesn't seem to notice. Is this where they sing the goodbyes? She cries at night. Whoa, raven crow, raven dies a hero. Oh, raven fly, and let her see you can glide. And when you're running through the trees, will you send me your goodbyes? And when you're perched on the mailbox, will you send my letter to my lover?
All right, don't sit down yet. I got a question for you. So you mentioned as part of your intro that you write a lot of depressing songs, although you're not really that depressing of a person. So
Yeah.
do you think for you is writing songs something that helps you sort of stay sane?
I think everyone stays sane by writing a little bit of music. But pretty much, I mean, you know, I write songs for other people so they can relate to it, I think.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I very much write it as a ways of, like, you know, because it's fun to write songs and it gets like a whole load off your chest because you could be in any sort of mood, but as soon as you write a song, you're like, oh, I'm so happy I finished this song. After months. But yeah, I think that's...
Has anyone ever said to you, wow, I really appreciate you writing that song. It saved my life, or it really made a big impact on me?
I wish.
Okay, not good. Just give it time. Give it
Hasn't
time. It'll
happened
happen.
yet, yeah.
It'll happen. Yeah, you just gotta get out there more often then. And play more songs. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, I was going to ask you, like, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you as a performer? And it's probably like this moment right now, that time you got up to perform and you forgot. You could. That's good content for.
I usually play sitting down, and there is a reason for that. But let's see how this goes.
Well, this is good. If you do like songwriter showcases elsewhere, you'll probably be standing up. So this is good practice for that. So why don't you introduce yourself to everyone, and if you can, share what the most embarrassing event is that's ever happened to you at a performance.
There is a good story with that. So, first of all, the song I'm doing is a song I wrote.
Tell them your name. We got have new people. They weren't in the beginning.
My name is Brendan Spites. The most embarrassing, I'd say, for me was at the Harris Center. I did a student showcase, and a buddy of mine and I wrote a song together, and we weren't fully prepared, and then we didn't know it was like a showcase. We figured it was just like a concert or whatever, so we didn't like think that people were going to play after us. So we didn't have an amp or anything set up. So while on stage, I'm like tuning and getting everything situated, and I literally just had to like start playing while he's still getting set up. And luckily, we practiced enough to where he knew like where to jump in and where not to play. But it totally could have like, well, we're off now, and the whole song was like in front of 60 plus people. So be prepared. Don't do what I just did.
Lesson learned. All right. So tell us about the song you're going to play.
So the song is called "It Doesn't Make Sense." I wrote it recently, kind of about my dad's best friend passed away this past year. And it's kind of about moving on from grief and getting through it. And it wasn't an expected loss at all. So he was 50, very unfortunate. And it was one of those that just, he had a very good heart, and kind of everybody that knew him, even for 5 seconds, knew that. And so to hear that he passed away was just like out of nowhere. It definitely was a shock to the system. And so it's not just about moving on, it's about moving on from that it affected you so deeply. And that, you know, it's one thing to grieve a loss when somebody's lived their full life. It's still sad and unfortunate, but then to add on the extra layer of they only lived half their life, or, you know, they didn't get to live the full extent of what they, you know, could have, and that maybe they could have done a lot more, right? Maybe their potential would have gone farther. So yeah, it's in a different tuning, a very weird tuning. To me, like unsettled. I tried to play it last time, but wrote the tuning down wrong, so yay. Is it a...
It was when you were tuning, but is your volume down?
No, it's all the way up.
Okay. Alec, might need to. Oh, Channel 6.
Plugged into channel 6 here about there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's try this.
Okay. There we go.
Working now?
Yes.
Alright. Here we go.
I don't know why I still try to meet here and talk about you. It's been so long since we told stories about who you are. Make sense. It doesn't at all. Sure God was here trying to figure out this life. When you left us, we thought we would never try to move on. How could we when you were the best part of us and we all fell down? Oh, we heard the news that you were gone. Found out we were all far away. It doesn't make sense that you are gone and still trying to move on, pick up the pieces you left, and maybe something of your legacy. And I don't think we want to move on and forget about you. So years go by, we leave for a while now. We don't talk, we don't say hi. Realize that you only one time to teach us one last thing, even though you're gone, that we need to move on and honor you now. It's hard to live without you, but it's harder to think about you all the time. But we didn't move on, so we came back to your deathbed now, and we all told our stories and shared all the good times. Even though it doesn't make sense that you're gone, we're still here. It doesn't at all do anything up besides let me know you're free. We know you're in a better place now, looking down, checking all our lost. doesn't make sense. It doesn't at all. But I have to move on and try to let you sing. And I know you are doing fine, but I'll try to move on. Doesn't make sense.
Ooh, that was bad ending.
That's great, thank you. All right, so let me just pause and see if anybody from the audience has any questions.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said it was a weird tuning. What made you jump to a different tuning?
Ooh, good
Yeah, so the question is, what made you decide to use a different tuning?
The simplest answer is I like the tuning. A more specific answer is for certain songs, especially for singing, there's different tunings apply to different voices. So like sometimes if I feel like the song is I'm writing and the chords are too high or whatever, I can drop.
Yeah.
And it fits better. There are a lot of different alternate tunings that people use. Sometimes it's simple as just one different string, but it could totally change the whole vibe or aspect, or even maybe you wrote it one way and then you change the tuning and the lyrics change because you're like, this doesn't fit with this, and that's my answer anyway.
Do you do all of your songs in an alternate tuning?
No.
In that tuning, or is it just some of them are like
Some
that?
of them. And I will say when I use a different tuning, I try to write a bunch of songs, especially if it's like, I've never done it before, and then I tune it, I'll try to write like as many songs as I can, just knowing what I know. Even if they're not finished, I'll start, maybe just try different chords or whatever, and then if I'm like, oh, I could write a song with that, then I will.
Cool.
Sorry.
Yeah, great question. Thank you. All right, yeah, you can sit back down. I'm going to ask another sort of general question for all of you, and then you can get back up again and share your songs. So, since we are talking about songwriting, a lot of people play instruments for a while before they decide to start writing songs, and some people they start writing songs right away as soon as they pick up an instrument. So, my next question is, what was it that inspired you to write songs in the first place? And did you start writing songs as soon as you learned how to play music on an instrument? You go first. Yeah, well, you get to go first every single time. How about that?
So my answer
You're
is,
the privileged one.
is both. I started playing music when I was 5 years old, piano lessons, cello lessons, but I didn't really start writing songs until I picked up the guitar. And so the answer is, I started writing songs for the guitar because it was easier to just make up songs than learn how to play existing songs.
And that was as a 6-year-old?
No, I picked up guitar when I was 17. So.
Oh, 17, okay, all right. I was going to say, like, what original content does a 6-year-old have to write about?
No, I already told you about the song I wrote
Yeah.
when I was 6.
Well, that sounds good. I really want to hear that song.
Oh yeah, it's a piano song. So
that's true. Okay,
we'll do it one day when we
maybe open mic night. You can come in and play to that one.
But yeah.
Okay, so it was about 16 when you started to really. Okay.
So it was a couple of months after I took guitar lessons for the first time in 2021, because I'm very new in terms of everyone else here. But it was like a few months after, and then I started by writing in the back of like an old notebook and then hiding it under my mattress, and no one would find my lyrics because I was too embarrassed to share them. And now I'm sharing them now. But those were like the first ones that I wrote a couple years ago, and I'm much more newer at this than everyone else here. But
So it was all about the same time. It's the same time you learned guitar.
pretty much,
You started writing songs right away.
yeah.
Did you write poetry before? Or did,
No.
like some people I know, they write song lyrics or they write poetry, and then they eventually learn how to play something and then they add it to it.
Yeah, I just taught myself how to write lyrics. I inherited a bunch of guitars So I was like, I have all these guitars now, so I might as well do something with them. So I just learned how to play them. And then when I was playing them, I'm like, well, the Beatles write songs, so I could write a song maybe.
Set your standards kind of low, right? Like, yeah. I mean, if the Beatles can do it, yeah, I could probably write something like the Beatles, right?
I think that's pretty much.
For me, it's actually weird. So I had played guitar for like 2 or 3 years, and almost all of my guitar playing, until like recently, I've taken lessons and classes and whatever, has theory-wise, wouldn't be able to tell you what chords I play. And I'll play some weird chords. The chords I was playing for that song, no idea. Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you what it is, unless somebody was like, "This is actually what it is," and then I'd be like, "Oh, okay." But I can't tell you that's an A minor because I just can tell you this is how you would play it. And for the longest time, I would play guitar like that, and I would just basically play by ear. I would play something, and then it'd be like, "Oh, that sounds cool," and then I'd play another thing. And some of the first things I did on guitar was just like I would put my finger on one string and almost play a scale, but it just like you would play it like a power chord. I would strum it. And it didn't sound very good at all. But I would then after I did it for a while, I started, no, if I slide it to this fret and this fret, it makes, it sounds good. And that is honestly like how I play most of my guitar now. I've learned things over time, so I've been able to be like, okay, that's E major. I can tell you why it is E major, right? And so for my songwriting, I think it just kind of, it came from that. When I would, because I play the guitar part first, and then I write the song. And usually people write and then play. And I'm in reverse. But I also recently, I never really thought about it, but I would sing all the time, like to myself, but I never had the confidence till maybe a few years ago. I was very much, I wish I would have, but I very much was like in the door, room closed, loud music blasting, nobody can hear me. Mm-hmm. And then like the first time I did it in front of the whole school. At my high school.
Baptism by fire.
Yeah, and I remember and it was one song. I wrote a simple song for a rally at my high school. It was the first time I'd ever really played in front of an audience at all. Occasionally I might have played like one other person, right? Or my best friend, or whatever. And I remember I was really nervous and super, like, I felt nervous physically. I was like shaking, and then at a point in the song, everybody cheered because I like paused, and I just felt like no nerves, the weight's gone, sort of like super adrenaline rush, right? And then when the song ended, I felt like I blacked out. I didn't, but I felt so like, did I just, like, what just happened? And I walked off and was like, okay, I need to leave. Like, I ran off stage. But I think from there, it just was like, I kind of felt like this is something I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And that's also just improved my songwriting. Like, anytime I write a song, especially if I really like it, I feel that way.
Fantastic. Anything you two want to add? We're going to let the music speak for itself. Okay. Well, then now, we'll let you get back up and...
Sorry for that head talk.
This is sort of a free-flowing thing, so if any of you want to speak about something, this is your chance.
I'll play that song that I was talking about from when I was 17. I only knew a few guitar chords, and I wrote this song.
This is your first guitar
specifically,
song?
I think it was like my second song. I can't remember. My first song was about a sandwich. I forgot that song.
You just ate that one up.
At the time, I knew exactly 5 guitar chords. It was that chord, that one, and that one. Oh, and that one. So I wrote a song to use all of them. Also, I was 17, and my whole personality at the time was I like dinosaurs.
Yes.
I wrote this song.
Is this what I think it is?
This is what you think it is.
Oh.
This song is called Tyrannosaur Can't Brush His Teeth.
Are we supposed to?
Oh yes, and even though I wrote it many decades ago, I still haven't thought of words for the last verse. It's a song about various things that Tyrannosaur cannot do. Father Josh, what should the last verse be about?
Well, no. Let's see. Let's ask our guests.
What is something?
What's
that
something a
the mighty
Tyrannosaurus
Tyrannosaur cannot do? Oh,
Can he-
oh no,
he
that's
can't
too,
wipe.
okay.
He
He
can't.
can't
He can't
vote.
wipe.
Oh, what? That will have to. It's gonna be vote because it's hard. Oh no, too many suggestions. Okay, I might have to save some of these for.
Was the song written in like the Jurassic period?
Yes, it actually, I am that old. It was written in no, actually not quite that old. The Cretaceous period we'll say. That's when the Tyrannosaur lived. The Cretaceous period ended 65 million years ago.
You look pretty good over there.
Thank you. Goes like this. Tyrannosaur can't brush his teeth. Tyrannosaur can't brush his teeth because his arms are too short. Because his arms are too short. Tyrannosaur can't brush his teeth because his arms aren't long enough. And if you think about it, there are a lot of stuff Tyrannosaur just cannot do. You know, pretty rough when your arms are so short. Tyrannosaur can eat cookies. Tyrannosaur can eat cookies because his neck is too short. Because his neck is too short. The brontosaur with his big long neck puts the cookies on the high shelf because he's greedy and he wants to eat them all himself. Poor Tyrannosaur, he can do nothing but complain. His neck's too short, resulting in the fact that he cannot obtain the cookies. Tyrannosaur can vote. Tyrannosaur can vote.
I mean, it makes sense because
By the way, I did make a music video for that song. It's one of the only videos on my YouTube channel which I have not contributed to in over 10 years.
you have a video for that song.
Yeah,
I've
you
not
can go
seen
to
that.
my YouTube channel, which is, I don't know, you can search for my name, Alec Hoxton, Tyrannosaur Can't Brush His Teeth video, and you'll see the music video for that song.
I didn't know.
Which has
I feel
had
like
0 views in over a decade. Yeah.
well, we'll have to change
Like
that.
and subscribe.
We'll have to change that. We'll share that. We'll promote it. This is important.
Yeah, I'm actually about looking at you.
Now, as you've heard the Tyrannosaurus song, any questions about that?
Can't reach the
I mean, he
bells.
can't. His hands. They gotta fill that thing out, and he can maybe fill.
Because
it out,
his arms
and
are too short.
You gotta put it.
Oh, could be. Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
That's a good
he
point.
lived in Pangea, which is the supercontinent that existed at the time.
The voting was different back
Not allowed to vote over there.
Yeah. Plus, I think if he was the Rex, so he was the king, right? So he'd be like voting for himself. Yeah. Monarchy of dinosaurs. Yeah. Something like that. All right. Next up, we have Anthony. So for tonight, we have ravens and we have tyrannosaurs. This is good. I like the creature theme that we have going on here.
I thought it would be cool, but I had to type in T-Rex after your name.
Al, lift up your foot. There you go. You were.
I know. I think it's the she's played here, so definitely take another title.
By the way, you musicians are allowed to ask each other questions if you want. So if you're curious about, like, I don't know, why Tyrannosaurus and not, a Triceratops or something.
Or what did Josh eat for breakfast?
I mean, you could ask me that. It's not quite as relevant to our discussion. Although food can influence the songwriting process, I've heard. Do you have any songs about food?
No.
Okay. Never mind. I thought maybe you'd be able to prove that, but my assertion was wrong.
So the next song I have is called Into the Next Life. I wrote it in April 2023, probably 1 a.m. I was in my grandma's sewing room, and I know she's watching right now. She's heard me say that a few times. And it's another one of the songs I wrote in the perspective of other people, because I do that a lot. It's the story of the song.
It seems that I've lost my chance. The opportunities presented themselves, but I couldn't seem to take them seriously. But I wanted to say that I will remember into the next life. I make a promise to not forget you in the next life. It seems that I've come too late. The words flew around like embers in the air, but they never seem to reach me. But I wanted to say that I will remember
Next up. You want to ask him a question? Yeah.
So for like, I like to have a lot of different, because I write a lot of guitar songs. So if I have them all on like the 0th fret, they kind of blend together in a way. So I sometimes like, I've had this guitar up as like the 7th fret. So
Wow.
I'll just like mess around with it, whatever sounds the best with the song, and then I'll kind of like mess around with my voice to kind of fit it, like if it's lower an octave or if it's like as high as it. But like for that one, I've done it on the 1st and 2nd fret. It's just whatever it sounds the best on, or what fits the song. It's like a higher fret could mean like a little like nicer like melody, and a lower fret can mean like a rock kind of more rocky.
So you use the capo to kind of give you a diversity of sound
Yeah.
in songwriting. That's great. Not a lot of guitar players do that. That's a good trick. So for all of you who are watching online and aspiring to write songs, there you go. There's a trick of the trade. Or at least a trick of Anthony's trade. So we have alternate tunings, and we have capos. And we have Tyrannosaurus.
There's a video to go with that. Alright. This song is in standard tuning, so it's not an alternate tuning. This next song is called I'm Driving to Be. I kind of wrote it, it's a song really about perseverance and getting through tough times, but I wrote it in a time when I wasn't going through much. But I saw it was just kind of weird, but I guess I think there were a lot of people that I was seeing go through things in my life, but I wasn't personally affected by it, and I think that's what sparked it. Yeah, it's really about like not letting the struggle define you, and just like working through it, really, whatever that is. So it is interesting though, some of the chords originally the song was. Right? And then I rewrote it as. Which is almost the same chord shape for all of those chords. I'm just essentially playing the bass note for all of them instead of strumming them straight through. So I thought it was cool though, because I wrote it just straight through. I was like, I accidentally hit a chord like this. That's how it came to be. So yeah. Anyway.
You got pain, you got time, you are striving to be something more, something better, something special for you and for me. You got pain, you got strife, you are striving to be. You got a smile on your face, and I've just got one thing left to say. How do you go through life long like you do? You got pain and all your life, your soul and mind, what you do. You tell me you just keep going through, trying to help others through, 'cause you know you're in pain. Might just help someone else today.
all that gotta say to you right now is how you go through life now with everything going on with you. When you got a smile on your face right now, making me laugh. No, you do. You got pain, you got strife, you are striving to be. You got a life worth living, and a story to tell. Why don't you? You got a smile on your face. Why don't you just help me through? My pain is strong, you're almost through. That's what you told me you would do. You got pain, you got strife, you are striving to be. Striving to be.
There we go.
Any questions? This is your chance to play Stump the Musician, just so you know.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, you may ask a question. Of course. Do any of you write songs for other performers? That's a great question.
No, but I thought about it. I actually always wanted to start a band and like have somebody else be the lead singer, but I'll write, but still would sing maybe and be a part of the band, but like not have all the spotlight.
Well, you should spread word that you're looking to, write for a band or form a band or something. This is a good place for that. Well, that is promotion. You're right. That's the perennial problem, isn't it? Yeah. How about you two? Ever co-write?
I've never I've had people guest vocal on some of my songs before because I have a musician friend who lives in Utah. But I want to co-write something at some point because it's much easier to co-write something than it is to write something from scratch. But I haven't. But like you said, I want to at some point.
Go ahead. Jump in.
It's totally not. So, I did write a song that I wrote the lyrics for, but then I had a friend, the song I played at the Harris Center, that was kind of an embarrassing moment, even though it went really well, surprisingly. I wrote the lyrics, but all the lead guitar and all the other music part, we actually wrote kind of together, because he played electric guitar, and I was playing acoustic guitar, but we just sort of clicked and had similar ideas, and both the guitars played really well off of each other. So when we wrote it, I had already kind of finished the song, but then adding his part in, we had to go through and label things and kind of rework some of the lyrics around because now there's another person playing with me in the song. So in a way, we kind of co-wrote it, but I've never really done a collaboration. I wanted to, though.
And you pass it down this way so he can. Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't co-write songs very often. Not since college when I had a music partner, Dave, and we used to make up songs together. But yeah, no, it's been many years since I've co-written that. I actually find it harder to write songs with people than myself. So I don't know. Maybe I just don't play well.
Yeah, you're all really strong singer-songwriters. So I'm surprised that 2 out of 3 of you are eager to, and really are entertaining the idea of co-writing with others. But that just goes to show you that musicians are a diverse lot.
Oh, you have a question for me? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Now I'm going to put on the spot.
He wants to ask if you co-write a song with him.
No, just look at no. When you did co-write songs, was it harder? Like, did you co-write with another person, or was that easier than maybe, let's say, a band, or like playing with 4 people? 'Cause I've heard people that are, they'll have one other person with them, and it's like really hard. But then in a band setting, 6 people with all songwriters that play guitar songs.
No, I think it was easier with my friend Dave because we were very kind of simpatico in our sense of humor, and like he's a very different guitar player than I was at the time, but we sort of complemented each other very well. So I think kind of, I wouldn't call that writing songs. It was more like making up songs that we did. Yeah. So that felt very natural, but yeah, maybe it just has to be like the right person to make it work.
I think it's the perennial problem that bands that have a lot of songwriters can have. It is people will try to present a song for the full band, and the rest of the band members will be like, it doesn't quite work, or the other co-writers will be like, I don't know about that. I know it was funny watching the Beatles movie. You see, poor George Harrison keeps like playing like songs for them that we now know they're like totally iconic. Like he plays "My Sweet Lord" for them. He's like, "There's this great song that I wrote. Let me know what you think." And he's playing, and he's "My Sweet Lord," and the other Beatles are just like, nah, yeah, I don't know, not really. Maybe, or we could maybe we could do that or something. But they're just like throwing out these songs that he wrote that he was hoping to get the Beatles to do with him, and. And secretly they're all thinking, that's junk, and we hear it in that context, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
I feel like on the flip side of that, there are also bands and groups where everybody's, can be their own songwriter, is some sort of a songwriter, and somebody presents an idea, and then 6 people add to it, and then it doesn't stick to the original idea, or it's now like way too much for one song.
Sure, yeah. If you are going to collaborate, you have to be willing to kind of let go of it once you do it. This is another problem a lot of artists have. I know so many painters that never finish a painting.
Yep.
Because there's always something more they can add to it, and they can never get to a point where they're like, okay, now it's done. Now I'll just.
And if you add on 6 people, that
give it to the people. Yeah, and musicians can be the same way. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
No.
And I'm not trying to make fun of the creative process. This is a challenge that musicians have. From time to time. That's good. Well, if any of you want to collaborate with others, the Fig Tree is the place to meet people to collaborate. So we can talk more about that later. That'd be cool. This can be collaboration right here. You could be like the Fig Tree version of the Traveling Mulberries. I don't know what we would call you, but the Traveling Fig Trees. What? The Traveling Fig Tree, yeah, that kind of works. Doesn't quite roll as well, but we'll figure something out. The Rolling Stones, that's a great name. We could do that. Do you think that, wait, is that taken? That might be taken. No, okay. Yeah, small little, they're probably never going to go anywhere. The Rolling Figs? Well, maybe. Figs are diverse. I don't know. Okay, yeah, won't deal with that one further. Yeah, Fig Tree Coffee Shop. Good name for a coffee shop. I don't know about a band. All right. Tell you what, I'll shake it up a little bit so that you don't have to go first with the song. I'll let you go first this time, and you go second, and then you get to go third. So then you can sit back and relax and wait a little bit. Oh, I did give you warning. You're like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Which song do I choose? So now that we put you on the spot, tell us about the song you're going to perform next, if you picked the one yet.
I picked this song.
You picked the song.
It
Okay,
is.
good.
So this one I'm going to perform is a very new one. I wrote it this month, which is very new. And over like my 2 years of writing songs, I've written probably like 300 songs. And I've had like various like, what are they called? Writer's block periods where there's like a month where I'm just like, and this was during one of those periods. And when you write a song during that period, it's like the most rewarding thing ever. Like you go out of your room that night and you're like, I'm gonna have dinner tonight. Like I do every night, but I'm gonna be more excited while I have it because I have a song ready. Anyways, this one's called Faded Melodies. I wrote it this month. It's gonna release on my next album coming out on September 20th, 2024. Thank you very much. And I came up with the chord progression a few days earlier before I wrote it. And I titled it with the phrase Faded Melodies. The original lyrics I didn't keep because they weren't good, but the title was like, that seems like a good title to name a song. And I spent about an hour writing it, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? Try it. She has a wish to be great someday. She wants to be someone like you, and she wants to be loved by everyone but me. And she doesn't care, and she doesn't see me the way I see her, and I don't believe her at all. Why do you have to find a way to hate me, and why do you have to go away? Your voice sounds like faded melodies that left my head the same. And you don't know me, but you loathe me. Many years I've tried to be on your side, but you don't listen to me. I've tried to be there when you cry, but you don't happen to see. I never forgot you, and I can't live without you, and I don't believe myself at all. Why do you have to find a way to hate me, and why do you have to go away? Hey. Your voice sounds like faded melodies that left my head the same. And you don't know me, but you loathe me, and I don't know why, 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 and I don't know why.
All right, next up. Yeah.
Did I hear a Beatles influence in there? I'm looking through you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What? I've never heard that one. I was old time sitting there. This is a Beatles song.
That's like the highest compliment someone can play you, so it's totally fine.
No, it's like, Beatles.
I just wrote a Lost Limb Impressions.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a tab.
He found one. He found one. Yeah, he was touring the old Apple Studios grounds, and he was going through a dumpster, and he was like, "What's this? It says Lennon and McCartney on it. Oh, I'll just take that. It's in the trash. No one wants it."
One time, it just had a letter, and it's like, wait a minute, it's a lost tab. All right, this is a little different. I kind of have two different genres I usually write in. There's a lot of different, I guess, two different styles. There's the country kind of Dave Matthews style, and then there's the like very blues, jazzy, little John Mayer style that I write in. I don't really like to compare myself to those two people because that just feels way too high of praise. Because, you know, but, because sometimes I'll write very, you know, slower songs, and sometimes I'll write very bluesy, more fast-paced songs, and it is very different. I sometimes will literally like write lyrics to something, and I'll start playing, and then it doesn't fit, and I'll just change it. So this song is really recent, within like the last 2 weeks. I wrote it kind of while busking, so it's called "This Time I Won't." So yeah, see how this goes. I've never played it live, so you guys get to, you know. Hopefully it's not terrible and I don't get critiqued terribly. There's no scorecards, right?
No scorecards.
Okay. There should be, though.
If you want, we can score.
No, they don't. Alright, here we go.
Don't even know my name, don't even know who I am, and I don't think you can leave me right now. I don't think you want to let me fall. I don't think you can do it now. What it takes to close the door now. I don't think you have what it takes to be the person who breaks my name down, makes me want to leave you now. Oh, and I don't think you have what it takes to leave me now. And don't think I will leave you now. I don't even know your name, and you haven't given me any reason to believe that you even love me. And I don't wanna leave you, I don't wanna screw up now, but you're giving me no choice. And I don't think you really even even try to test to see if I was a better man than everyone you did in the past. Now I don't think you are what it takes to leave me now. Trapped in downtown, I don't wanna leave you now. It's hard to love you when I don't even know your limits. And I found out almost like I never known. Oh, this time I won't. This time I won't.
That song was about. I'll just say it now. Briefly, it's about kind of leaving a toxic relationship, but then finding out that the person you're trying to leave, like, you don't want to leave because they might really screw up parts of your life, and they have a lot of ties to things and friends you have, so you don't leave them because you don't want to lose 10 friends you have, and trying to find the words to say that. So yeah.
That's good. That'll back in the 80s when I would try and communicate something to a friend that was going through a hard time, I would make a mixtape, and I would especially pick songs that I would put on that tape and give to them that would speak to their particular situation. So if I had a friend that was in a toxic relationship, I would have wanted to have that song to give to them.
With a bunch of 8-volt batteries and proof box.
Yeah, that's kind of how we roll. That's what we did. I mean,
Not
now,
heavy at all.
now I can just make a Spotify playlist. So you have to record that and put it on Spotify, and then I'll just make a playlist of people
Well, the nice
that I can give to people when they're trying to get out of toxic
a lot
relationships.
lighter than the race.
It is a lot lighter. Yeah, that's true. Okay, very nice. All right, and next up, Alec. And as always, if anyone has any questions for any of these musicians as they're performing, feel free to ask. Yeah.
That's so awesome. I've got people say Dave Matthews down there, Pearl Jam. I mean, every time I hear those, I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't accept it. Or if somebody's like, your voice, I'm like, that's a compliment, first of all, and no. But thank you. I do pull a lot of inspiration from Dave Matthews. I've also gotten Zach Bryan country singing. I grew up, my dad had a CD player in his truck. It was one of the actual stereo.
You speak of a CD player like that's this ancient archaic thing.
It kind of is, though.
I know, you're right, it is. Yeah, this is a little after 8 tracks.
We had
Yeah.
CDs of Jack Johnson and Dave Matthews albums that we just playing. And that was like, when I was like 5, that's Crash and all those songs.
Yeah.
They were songs. And so then
So something from that soaked in and
yeah, and my
stayed there.
friends remember would play bits and pieces of it here and there. It's just influence there. No, you can't.
All right, good answer. All right.
So he's got the Dave Matthews influence. What's your influence or inspiration?
Oh, I'll tell you that this song was inspired by a book that somebody gave me for my 6th birthday. That book was called The Little Prince by Anton Saint-Exupéry. Pardon my French. I don't think that's how you actually pronounce it. And on the first page of that book, there's a picture of something that looks like a hat. But then you turn to the second page and you realize it's a picture of a snake that has swallowed an elephant. It's a book about a little guy who used to live on a small planet with a flower, but he had to leave because the flower is not very nice to him, speaking of toxic relationships. Yeah, and he traveled around to different planets in the universe, met different people. And that's a book about him. I don't know how literally this song is about that, but it was inspired by that. called Draw Me a Planet. Draw me an elephant. Draw me a snake. Draw me a mountain. Draw me a snowflake. Draw me a rose. Draw me a sheep. Desert wide. Ocean deep. Draw me something. All my own. Draw me a planet. Draw me home. Draw me a hilltop. Moon in the sky. Edge of the cliff. Star in your eye. Draw me something. All my own. Draw me a planet. Draw me home. Draw me you. Draw me me. Draw me no one near to see. Draw me. Draw me you. Draw me gray. Draw you blue. Draw me something. All my own. Draw me a planet. Draw me home. Thank you.
Quick question for you before you sit down. What would you say are some of your musical inspirations?
Oh, as far as musicians go, I'd say Paul Simon is a big musical inspiration for me. John Prine is a big musical inspiration. Mr. Rogers is one of my musical. Everybody knows him as like the puppeteer and children's host, but he wrote all of the songs that he sang on his show, and his songs were amazing. And I just remember being inspired.
I
by
can totally
his
see that.
songs.
I can totally
long
see
before
that.
I ever wrote my
Yeah.
own songs. He was a big inspiration for me. Yeah.
Fantastic. Good. Yeah.
So you have the first one recently, the second one, the second one.
That one I wrote probably 12, 13 years ago, so it's kind of an older song for me. But
I actually have a question. There's the first, it's like the second line of that song, the line where it says, "For all we know." Is that at all related to your other song, Tiny Elephant?
yes, it is. Maybe next I'll play my other song, Tiny Elephant, which was inspired by this song. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, a musician inspired by himself. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
so yeah,
That's
I
good.
that elephant from that song appears in another song of the song. That we'll hear later.
But it's similar.
Yes.
And I was just always curious, like, is it a connection or what is there about it?
Yeah, so I actually made I think my only other video on my YouTube is a video for that song, and for that music video, I drew an elephant, but it came out like that big, because and I'm not very confident when I'm drawing it. I draw really small, so I draw this tiny elephant, and then I said, I better write a song about that tiny elephant, and that song is called Tiny Elephant, and I'll play it next.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's the There's a whole movie.
All right, so Brandon, you're up next, but I have a question for all three of you to answer before your next set together. Anthony, you mentioned you have about 300 songs that you've written, right? About how many songs have you written now?
I don't remember. Yeah, I write a lot of songs that aren't very good, so I kind of forget about them.
Okay.
But yeah, no, songs that I'm still like proud of and I still play, maybe 30 or 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about you? How many have you written?
I'm probably around that, like 40 or 50. There's a lot of songs I have that I never finished. So, or like I wrote, and I just forgot about them. And sometimes I'll go through like my phone or notebooks and I'll be like, oh my gosh, wow, I can't believe I wrote that 5 years ago. And then I do this thing, especially because there's a lot of songs that I have that are like almost finished, or they totally could be finished. I just don't put in the time. So I'll go back and look at a lot of older stuff I wrote. Maybe it's one line and put it in other songs to kind of reuse them.
Yeah, so my follow-up related question is, do you ever revisit some of those songs that you wrote that you don't play anymore because you don't think they're good enough, or those incomplete songs? I know a songwriter that revisited a song like 25 years later, right? Isn't that what you did? Didn't you share that? Yeah. Yeah, you. No? Oh. I thought you... Okay, never mind. Well, I heard a musician somewhere. I hear so many musicians, and they played a song that they had written like 25 years ago, and they never finished it, and then they recently revisited it and recorded it and played it at the Fig Tree. I thought it was you, but I guess not. Okay.
Along those lines, I have a song that I never really stopped writing, which is the song we did at Parent Center. I still add to it.
Okay, so you still add your old stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just literally like changing or progression a little bit, or maybe even lyrically a little bit, but I've never really stopped adding to it. I liked the song originally, and then originally when I played it, it was supposed to have a bass player and lead guitar player, and I had a lead guitar player. I never got around doing all that, but there's so much I could add to it because of some of that was, right? So there's like, the original version of the song is not the version of the song that I don't have to play. Thanks for that.
So I will revisit songs sometime. I mainly try to finish them in one session, because if I don't, then the stream of consciousness is just gone from my head. So if I don't finish it in one, like I have a million like tiny songs on my phone that I haven't finished, because I think writing is better than not writing. But yeah, I try to write them all in one session, one long, like 5 hour, lock myself in my room, you can eat when you get out,
Wow.
Because it just lets me get work done faster, and I can like get a song done 15 minutes, I can get a song done 5 hours. It just depends on how much I try to push myself on the song, or if it just comes immediately. But
So, do you ever revisit any of the old ones, or are you just purely bring on your stream of consciousness? You have to be in the zone, and if it doesn't get done, then it's just that's it.
Every few weeks, I scroll through my notepad and I'm like, is there any good verses in here that I could like nick and put in like another song, like a better song? But like I'll try like a bunch of the songs that I have, like I'll rarely like get from old songs unless they're like really good, and, like life changing. I'm like, oh, I wrote that. So yeah.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
I love that.
I rarely revisit old songs, but of the songs that I do continue to play, once I've written them, they usually evolve over the years. The way I sing has changed over the years, the way I play guitar has changed over the years, so it just kind of causes the song to kind of grow.
I like how you kept the Tyrannosaurus Rex song open-ended, because then it always changes.
Yeah, that's the song that I never finished, and I sing it different every time.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
That's kind of how this song is.
Oh, good.
This song is called "Worth It to Me." Down to even the strumming pattern. Like, I now play finger style beginning as an intro. When I first played it, I strummed it. I've added lift offs and all these different things, but at the time I may have not known how to do certain things or whatever. Or, even sometimes I've changed lyrics to different places, right? So it might have been the chorus and now it's just part of the verse or whatever. So yeah. All right. Melodies died. This one's good. Yeah, I guess I'm plugged in. Please stand up. Let's try this one. Oh, sorry, I just got Jimmy has been playing. Like, yeah. Is that coming through? Yeah, you guys can hear that? Okay.
You don't yourself. Oh no. Devil himself, oh. Just saying again, no. Saying you're on my mind now. Just get it off. Just get it off from me now. Don't stop. Don't settle down. And if you do, just accept the consequences now. You think that you win this fight. Only when you new ways to move yourself. Oh, no. Don't you stop. Don't breathe at all. You're worth it to me. And I don't wanna see you lose your mind. And I don't wanna see you fall down. Just get up now. Just get up right now. Something for me. Worth it to me right now.
I wish I honestly, because it's evolved so much or been edited so much, the original version I don't really have anything. And I've never really wrote that, like, okay, I finished it and wrote it down and did all that later. And I kind of regret it because it'd be kind of cool to look back and then, wow, there's 6 chords that aren't even in there anymore. So yeah,
That's great. Any more questions for him?
So good.
Yeah, still good.
I like your feelings, like literally the feelings.
Yeah.
It was expressing the song even way more than the lyrics itself. So like your feeling can tell like little like you wrote this, right?
yes.
So I can tell like it's a story you've been through, and I can tell from your feeling it's like 100% legit. So I would really congratulate you for that, for real.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I definitely try to write like that, but oftentimes, I mean, half the time I close my eyes when I'm up here, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's not just because I'm like trying not to look at people or stage fright. Most of the time, it's because I'm literally like feeling it. There's been times where, I mean, spirituality aside, like I literally had kind of a like, you know, transcending. Like I felt like I wasn't there and I'm floating, but then I'm just singing. Like, and it, but I definitely there's times where I'm just like playing and I also just like sitting somewhere and I feel that, which is kind of why I do this. That's the main reason.
That's great.
That's where my passion lies.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you to all of you. I mean, it helps, you know, that I can share this.
I would really encourage you to participate in like American's Got Talent or something. I'm for real.
You know, I actually just signed up to do the virtual audition for American Idol.
Ooh, all right.
Now, I don't know if I'll get in, right, but I'm in the system, right?
You're in the system, well.
Even if you didn't get in, it will be like the experience.
It would still be,
itself.
yes.
Yeah.
You will learn a lot from it.
Thank you.
All right, next up, Alec. Well, yeah, we started.
We've lost.
Yeah, well, no, because you went first. You started first, then you went first last time. You went first this time. Yeah, he's first, so that makes you second.
I mean,
you're
it's
third.
probably like second.
Well, I promised you a song about the tiny elephant from the last song, so I better play that one.
Yeah, and this song is inspired by you.
This song is inspired by me. Self-inspiration. Like I said, I drew an elephant. Came out that big. It was a tiny elephant. Thought that was a interesting sounding phrase. I really wrote the song kind of as a joke. I didn't take it very seriously when I first wrote it. Then when I first started playing it for people, I found that people really connected with it. And
Is it about short Republicans? I have to ask. I'm sorry. It's
no,
I know that's on
that kind of-
everyone's mind right now.
There's a music video out there with that.
That's true. That would be fun.
Yeah. So over the years, this song has kind of grown on me personally. So it's called Tiny Elephant. Hang on, it sounds better if it's in tune.
Pretty sure you played this at the first open mic.
Very possible.
There's an old expression that musicians tune because they care. Is that true?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, good.
I second.
Mostly I tune because I forgot to tune before I came. No. It's because I came.
Because you're there you
I
go.
know.
Yeah. Get a positive spin.
It's called Tiny Elephant. Tiny elephant always cheers me up when I feel down. Tiny elephant says, how can you be blue when I'm around? Tiny elephant goes where I go. Tiny elephant follows me. Tiny elephant always knows what I need. Tiny elephant always knows a place where we can hide. Tiny elephant's always small enough to fit inside. Tiny elephant's just like me. A tiny elephant's just a little stronger. Tiny elephant I can see won't be around much longer, 'cause tiny elephant grows smaller every day. Tiny elephant says soon I'll go away, 'cause you don't need me like you did when I was big. Tiny elephant grew so small one night he disappeared. I woke up to find that he had gone, as I had feared he would. Tiny elephant goes where I go. Tiny elephant follows me. Tiny elephant knows what I need. Thank you.
I can actually kind of picture Mr. Rogers singing that to a tiny elephant now. So thank you for sharing that. That's great.
My dad thought that was about like imaginary friend. Like you had the imaginary tiny elephant as your friend, and then you got older. Not so cool to have an imaginary tiny elephant. Go. But I love that it's just a drawing. Like you drew it with that thing. And
Yeah, that's one of the things I really enjoy about playing that song for people is like listening to, oh yeah, I think I know what that song is about. I'm like, no, that's not.
Yeah.
But that really deepens the connection that I have personally to the song and to the people who enjoy listening to that song.
You're just like, I just drew a picture of them that way, but this person has this view. Right?
Yeah.
You watch, there are going to be people that think it's about a short Republican. You watch. It'll happen. Yeah.
Watch the next election, they're going to know.
I don't think there are any short Republican candidates, but if there were one, that could be their theme song. All right, Anthony, tell us about your next song.
This is a children's book song, the second one of them.
Oh, nice.
This one is inspired by a children's book. 1 second, I have to get my music in order here. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Shorten this down for me. I'm only 5'9". I'm a small man.
You're not it.
5'9" is actually average.
That's
So,
good to know.
yeah, you're average. You're not short.
Okay.
I'm 5'8.5", so you're good. You're in good company. These two are just tall.
Yeah.
They're tall musicians.
So this one is inspired by a children's book that I had when I was younger, called "Love You Forever."
Now we regret
which is a really depressing book. I read it.
It's so good.
Is that the one with the bears?
No, it's the one where the mom dies in the end.
Oh.
And that's not a spoiler.
That's just what happens in the book. And I wrote this one in December 2022 in 15 minutes. Oh, I'm so happy about that. There's so many good words in it. It's very good. It's very close to the book. I took the book because I probably read the book. I was going to my children, like the books I had as a child, like a couple of weeks before. And this was one of the ones that I saw, and I was like reading it because I'm like, what is this book? And I got to the end of it, and I'm like, oh, that's what this book is about. And I was like, well, that would be a cool song, which is the most normal response to reading a really sad book. It's almost the same story, but it starts when I'll just sing it. It speaks for itself.
The clouds sing a hymn as the mother wipes a tear. The sun had grown up so fast these past 20 years. She waves him goodbye as he runs to the train. As he goes, she sings and she sang. Goodbye, my son, goodbye, my dear. Will I ever be able to see you again? Is there a chance that you'll visit me when I'm down on my luck and I need sympathy? The boy took his train and rode away past the old chapel where he used to sing. He never thought he'd be on his own, but now at last he knew he was old. In the morning his mother would pray that her son would be saved today. She sat on her chair and looked at old frames that contained several pictures of old Christmas days. She looked up and saying these words about the things she wants to say. Goodbye, my son, goodbye, my dear. Will I ever be able to see you again? Is there a chance that you'll visit me when I'm down on my luck and I need sympathy? Several years later, the mother fell ill and collapsed at the foot of the old windowsill. She was taken to a hospital on Old Main Street next to the bar where she would make ends meet. Her son rushed to her side as she sang one last song to remember her name. Goodbye, my son, goodbye, my dear. Will I ever be able to see you again? Is there a chance that you'll visit me when I'm down on my luck and I need sympathy? When she passed, it was only a matter of days before her son would have to honor her ways. When he sang to the people at the funeral, a song that is still sung today. Goodbye, my mother, goodbye, my friend. Will I ever be able to see you again? Is there a chance that you'll visit me when I'm down on my luck and I need sympathy? Goodbye, my mother, goodbye, my friend. Will I ever be able to see you again? Is there a chance that you'll visit me when I'm down on my luck and I need sympathy? Times the lines are so long.
Yeah, that was wonderful. As someone who lost his mom last October, that really was very therapeutic for me. So thank you for sharing that. That was great. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to switch gears for a second. I want you to sort of talk to each other to kind of answer this question, and it's something that I know a lot of musicians deal with. So tell me about any of your experiences with stage fright surrounding performing, and how you've dealt with it, or if you have overcome it for years, you know, what your advice would be to others who might be struggling with that, or still finding like when they get in front of people that they can be intimidated or scared pretty easily. So we'll start with you. Yeah.
I'll start.
You're the seasoned pro here, so there you go.
I think I mentioned I started taking piano lessons when I was like five or 6 years old, and part of that was we had to like do piano recitals several times a year. I remember like being so like nervous for piano recitals, and I also played in the school orchestra, and that wasn't so bad when you're on stage with a bunch of other people. But the first time that I went to an open mic in college to just play my own songs with my guitar, it was such a contrast to not have to get every note right, because I wrote the song. I can play it however I want, and nobody really knows or cares if I make a mistake. And so my experience with playing guitar and playing my own songs has been, it's kind of a relief from stage fright compared to like my early experiences performing as a child. So, yeah.
I do tell musicians if they're doing an original song and they like play wrong notes or sing wrong words, to don't worry about it. Like don't tell them, oops, I played the wrong thing, because no one will know, because it's your own stuff, and that should actually kind of boost your confidence. I mean, nobody ever listens to me; they do it all the time anyway. But
And then the other thing is just doing it a lot. Like,
yeah.
Go playing open mics a couple of times a week, and you just get used to it.
Yeah.
So I've played a lot. I'm in a Beatles tribute band, and and I played lead guitar for them. One of the lead guitarists. Another one's a 10-year-old, and he's just the maestro of the guitar. But just really quick. Anyways, but I played a lot of shows with them, and it's always really frightening because it's like I have to know all the lead parts. But I played Harris Center, I played Crest, I played Memorial Auditorium, and it's a bunch. It just depends on how big the audience is that you get a bunch of stage fright. But
are you more scared in a large audience or a small one?
That's a good question. I think if it's somewhere in the middle, it's like I can be chill with these people. And then the small, like really small, is like I can also be chill with these people, but then there's sometimes where it's like, there's 3,000 people here. And it's like scary, but like I always tell people, because I did a piano recital at my school, and everyone there had not played on stage before, and I was the only like veteran that's like had the bullet wounds of playing on a bunch of stage. But like I always tell them it's scary for like the first 10 seconds. If you don't do it often, you get up there and you're like, oh no. But if you really pay attention to what you're doing, and you know and you believe in yourself that you could like achieve what you're trying to do, it's scary for like 10 seconds, and then you're like, I dig this. These people are chill, and they're like hanging out, and they're like, yeah. And they're all like having fun and stuff. And it's really only you that has the stage fright, because I think people in the audience more care about the vibes in the room. You know, they don't care as much about your mistakes as some people.
Unless they bring tomatoes.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, like it's scary for the first 10 seconds and maybe only for the first show or two that you do. But the more you do it, the more it's like, I can do this. I've done it a million times.
I have a very interesting kind of stance. Before I really played guitar, as weird as it was, I didn't. So I could talk to people for hours, but I hate starting a conversation. I have major social anxiety from initiating the "Hi, my name is," to introducing myself, which, as a musician or playing, live somewhere, you kind of have to do that. And so for a long time, I didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't have a lot of people I hung out with, and so there was a lot of things that happened to me that really came down to fear. It really came down to, everybody kind of has their own battles, their own struggles in life, but I think there's something to say that, just go talk to somebody. Yes, it's anxiety, so it's not as simple as just, but at the same time, there's a lot of people I could have totally been friends with or totally hung out with, but it's not that they didn't want to hang out with me. They didn't know me. I'm sitting alone because I'm not going up and sitting with them. And then when I started playing guitar and writing songs, that was my outlet. That was my kind of way to say hi without saying hi. And there's still times I do that. I'll go up to the college, the community college in Folsom, and just to learn playing. And I'm not trying to talk to anybody. I'm not playing super loud, but within minutes somebody will be like, hey, that sounds really good, and then the conversation can spark just like that. I will say for me, the first time I played live, like I said, was in front of the whole school. And prior to that, I had never really done that. I'd never wanted to, I never liked to. If I played my guitar or wrote a song, it was like for one other person. But my senior year in high school, I really sat down and said, just go talk to people. Stop waiting for the conversation to come to you. Go out of your way. It will be awkward. You know what? Make it awkward. And it wound up being popular, knowing the whole school. So it was a small high school, but still 200 people is 200 people. And going from one person to 200 is a pretty big leap. And I think after that, an open mic was easy. Playing in front of 10 people became a lot easier. And to this day, I still don't know how I just did that, but I think it does come down to believing in yourself and really getting out of your own head, your own way, because I'll be honest, I can sit down and write a song and it could be really good, and 10 people could say it's awesome. I'll say it sucks. But then, if I don't say it sucks and just play it and sing it, there's nothing, it might be really good, and I won't say that. There's also a thing too, more practical. When you're playing live, you were talking about, if you play the wrong note, it's your own song. Don't stop. Don't pause and be like, sorry guys, or whatever. Because now you've lost that flow, you've lost the vibe, and even though you might get it back on track and hit the note again, now people are like, wait a minute, now they know. right? Or at least they're starting to question, like, what? Maybe the song doesn't sound the same now because you've stopped for 5 seconds or whatever. And I always tell people, like, don't stop. Just play through the mistake. Go play it. Play the song. And you know what? You messed up the whole chorus, but just keep playing. End the song. Because if you stop, that might be the part where the bridge was supposed to come in. And now you're just, it's muddled through and it doesn't sound the same. So that's my advice.
All right, well, it's time for our next song. Alec, you're up. You again? I think I'm doing that in the right order. I don't know. We're winging it. We're improvising. You're musicians, you have to get used to thinking on your feet anyway, so it's part of the whole process. This is like training for you all.
That's another good tip to improvise songwriting.
Yeah.
Like, I do that so if I am getting nervous, I'm now writing a song that people wrote for me. Write a song about aliens, and there's no trying to make it cheesy or.
You know, when I hear A Day in a Life by the Beatles, I could swear that the last minute and a half of that song is completely improvised. If you know that song, that's kind of a joke, because of course it is. They had an entire orchestra and they just said, this is your starting note, this is your end note, play whatever you want, and then you get there.
Any mistakes, right? Art
Yeah.
mistakes. There's more to the song.
Artistic innovations.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can just say, I'm not doing the Americana thing right now, this is jazz.
All right, I'm gonna play another song. This song was kind of born here at the Fig Tree. Actually, it was born across the street at the other Fig Tree. I know who was running that shop.
Same Fig Tree, different location.
Anyway, so
We'll take credit for it.
I was here playing a different song, and I write a lot of songs about animals. So I asked the people, hey, what animal should I write my next song about? And one person said squirrel. The other person said platypus. So I went home and I read the Wikipedia entries on squirrels and platypuses. And I discovered that squirrels live on every continent except for Australia and Antarctica. And platypuses, of course, only live on Australia. So how am I going to write a song about these two animals? I ended up writing this song. It's based on an email that a platypus has written to a squirrel, but never sent. Found in his drafts folder. And it's called Antipodes. Antipodes is a word that means opposite sides of the earth. And what else about this? Oh, the song is in. The song has a time signature of 5/4, which was. I decided to challenge myself. So if you count along, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. So there's a part in the middle where it switches to being 6, but it's mostly in 5/4. It goes like this.
sun goes down. My feet are sore come morning time. My head feels cool in the antipodes. But I don't want to hurt my heart or yours.
Thank you.
Was there anything that inspired you to do that in 4 or 5?
I just wanted to challenge myself. 'Cause I write a lot of songs in 4 and 3 and 6, so I figured 5 was the next number on the list. So, yeah.
That was great.
I want to ask, when is the next time you guys coming here?
Well, we have music here every night, but we're doing the songwriter showcases once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah.
How can I know when's the next time?
If you just look at our schedule online, it's usually the 4th Wednesday of the month. Fourth Wednesday, yeah.
Because my brother-in-law he also plays guitar.
Oh, nice.
I can give you a business for my business.
Oh, that's good. Nice self-promotion there.
Because my brother-in-law, like, he also likes guitar. So next time you may join you guys.
Yeah, okay. We have an open mic night every Saturday night. He can come and play at the open mic night if he wants, and then we do music throughout the week. So I'm always looking for new acts if he wants to play. Have him reach out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, they say it's a good place to play. I won't say if it is or not because I'm the owner. I'm biased. Obviously, I'm going to say it's great, but they all think it's great. So
I really had so much fun. Thank you guys.
yeah, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Well, no, you started right, so you should be. So we should go like in order. Anthony should be next. Yeah. So you get to be last on this set. It is 8:10. Yeah, it flies, doesn't it? This is great. Time flies when we're talking music. I'm surprised you haven't asked more difficult questions. Challenge them. Okay. Just mentally prepare yourselves. You're going to get grilled by the doctor. Oh yeah, it's going to be good.
So this song I'm gonna play is my mom's favorite song of all time. Hi, Mom. She's watching at home, or in Texas. She's in Texas, and this is her favorite song. And if I didn't play it, it's gonna be 11 o'clock when this is over. But she's gonna send me a very angry text message if I don't play it. She's like, "You better play this one." I'm like, "I'm sorry." So I'll play it. And this one's called Nighttime. I wrote it in June 2023. It was released on my album in November 2023. It was the last song on that album, which is a good album. You should listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, plug, Anthony Boccaleoni.
That's Boccaleoni.
Yes.
All right, good. Just making sure. All right, yeah. Anthony Boccaleoni. Or Bacca. Are you saying it right?
I think it's said either way. I don't even know how to say it.
You don't even know how to say your own name? Wow. Okay. Boccca. Yeah.
2, 3. When I go to bed, I see shadows over my head. When I go to sleep, I see the minnows counting sheep. And when I need you the most, there's a barrier locked between us. And when I see you, you say that wasn't it at all. Nighttime falls, I still love you. Fall volunteers of past regret. Nighttime falls, I still need you, and nothing can make me feel less. When I last saw you, it was a lifetime ago. A million sparks ran through my head, and the connection between us resurrects you. If the fallen soldiers that scatter our minds, nighttime falls, I still love you. Volunteers of past regret. Nighttime falls, I still need you, and nothing can make me feel less. Nighttime falls, I still love you. Volunteers of past regret. Yeah. Nighttime falls, I still love you, and nothing can make me feel less. Feel less. Ooh.
I know. Totally different song. Yeah. That was like, please tell me not the only one hearing.
An unintentional amount of like.
I did not hear any Leonard Skinner in that at all, but that's okay. That's good. Not to mention me, yeah.
That was like Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I hear Paul McCartney all over that. I get this feeling you like Paul McCartney. I feel like he's like kind of your muse. Yeah.
I can tell why your mom likes that song. That's a good song.
Yeah. No, it was in a metal band. The Birds. Yeah.
All right, you're up. Yeah, well, we're going in order here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, well, we could do Freebird, but it's only originals here, so you can maybe steal some of the lyrics if you want. But
That's not a song you can really.
we've had someone perform Freebird twice at the Fig Tree.
You can do your cover, but it's really hard to make a different song like that.
Well, that's true.
Very recommended. I don't even really need my phone for this one.
You don't need what?
My phone for this one, so
Okay.
I also don't know where I must have placed it. But anyway, this is a song I actually wrote kind of recently, within the last few months. It is. The title might not fit. I don't know. It's also about a relationship, but it's not about getting out of a next relationship. It's about letting the person go and fully moving on from that instead of. It's really easy in a toxic relationship to get out of one, especially if you were with the person for a long time, to still think about them, even though they were toxic. Whatever, like there's just it can happen, and that song is really about moving past that, allowing yourself to fall in love again or to move on with your life and not be held back by something like that. So yeah, it's called Don't Want to Let Her Go.
I don't want to move on, start new right now. Down the wall, move on now. 6 feet in the ground. I don't want to let myself go. I know you are someone that I got close to me right now, and I don't want to let you go, and I don't want to move on right now, and I don't want to leave you me now, and I don't want lose you now. I know it's wrong to be holding out you right now. Now live my life right the way I want to. Should let you go a long time ago. I wish I had more time with you now. I wish all the time I could say all the things I wanted to right now. Don't want to let you go anymore. I have to. I don't wanna lose you right now. Don't want to let you go. Don't want to leave you behind. I don't want to let you go right now. Any more than I have to. Any more than I want to. I know it's wrong to hold on to this right now, but I don't want to lose myself through you, but I can't seem to move on. About you, I don't want to let you go any more than I do now. I don't want to leave you behind, let you go right now. Don't want to go. I don't want to let you go.
All right, well, now we have time for one more round. So, before you come up and do your next songs, one of our esteemed audience members would like to ask you some questions. So I'll pass things over to Dr. Mark. We'll see what he has to ask. And it could be about anything, so prepare yourselves.
Oh, there. My question has to do, and you guys have touched on this already, time spent writing. I'm sure that there's going to be very different answers among the three of you as far as maybe dedicated time or not dedicated time, or what's the shortest amount of time you've ever spent, what's the longest amount of time you've ever spent, patterns, places, where does the muse hit you? Anthony spoke about just going straight through the 5-hour marathon, I'm getting this song done, whereas others may just, oh, my muse is gone, maybe it'll come back later. I'd like to hear what each of you have as far as a pattern or what you've been doing as far as your writing experience.
Great question.
So I always just wait for songs to come out. I feel like they sort of spend a long time growing inside, and when they're ready to come out, they come out. You know how like chickens lay eggs, the egg grows inside, and all of a sudden there's an egg. So I feel songs are, for me, about the same way. Yeah, like once a song is ready to come out, it just sort of comes out. Yeah. But it has to spend a long time. Like you can feel a song come, or I can feel a song coming weeks before it actually arrives. Like, oh, there's a song brewing, and
Wow.
you just have to be patient and relax and play guitar a lot and just play random stuff, and eventually when it's ready, it'll be there. Yeah.
So with you, is it just like all of a sudden there it is, like it's brewing, and then when you
It's
finally
not
pick
quite.
up the
It's
guitar
not quite
and
that sudden, but it's pretty fast. It's usually like, yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm ready to lay this egg.
A
And you
lot
just
of
take out
times
the
I-
guitar and then
Yeah, like
there it is.
it may start like, oh, I've come up with this little like doodly thing I play on guitar. There's this one particular phrase or word that I want to include in the song, but I have no idea what the song's going to sound like or what it's going to be about. But it's sort of just happening in there. And so for me, I know some people like sit down and write for an hour every day, and that's the way they're. And that method doesn't work for me at all. It's all about just sort of letting it happen on its own, and just being patient and being relaxed and being ready for it when it comes.
that's a great answer. There aren't right or wrong answers. So if your answers are completely different
That's wrong.
than his, that's totally fine. You fail. No, just kidding. That's amazing.
Kind of like what Alex said. Like there's like for me, there's like a feeling I can feel like in my head. That's like I have to write a song. Like I don't know if I can explain it, but there's this weird feeling that I get whenever I'm just ready to write something, and it just kind of comes out. Like in the back of my head, it's like a weight or something. And then as soon as I like get a guitar and I have the notepad app, or I have like a thing out like paper, I'll write something. And then that little inkling kind of just fades away, like it goes into the song. So kind of like in the back of my head, there's like a little song that's forming, and then when I finally get time to write it, or I usually try to do it immediately because otherwise it just kind of fades away on its own. But if I write while that feeling's in there, it kind of just goes onto the paper. I don't know how it's kind of like a weird phenomena or something. It's like your body knows when you want to write something. Feeling
So
poetic.
none of you are like, okay, it's Friday, 5 p.m. Let me just sit down for a couple hours and I'll try and write some songs. Like that doesn't happen. Like it's not like that. It says it's time. You must sit down now, and then that's when you go and you do it.
Yes, oh master brain.
Wow. Okay.
So I have an interesting thing because I have both.
I have songs like, the idea came to me and just boom, like in one solid, it came to me and then I wrote it down. That it became the song. Like I didn't spend another, it took a few hours, right? But it was done. Like that was the song. And then I have other songs where kind of more it was based on feeling. Like maybe I thought of something or a word, and then I felt like it was a song, but there's no plan there. There was no sort of. I couldn't tell you, you know, oh yeah, this is where this line came from, and this. It was just kind of like there's a general idea. I don't know. It could be literally anything. It could be spiders, and then just that's a thought I had, and then I might pull. Think about itsy bitsy spider, and then that's the song. Just a general idea. But from
That one's taken already.
I know. I'm using that as an example. The ideas but for those songs too, they do take a while. I don't usually write them all in one solid motion. I'll write them. It might take months before I even. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it now. I'm gonna open my episode. And I remember that the first song I played in front of people, I wrote just straight. I wrote it actually not as a song. There was an acronym at the school. It was CARE, and it was a healthy school. So it was like communicate, respect, advocate, empathy, or something like that. So I took the acronym and just like wrote basically like not even really poetry, just like wrote things that came to mind about those words. So synonyms, right, or different things. And I just wrote like didn't even period or no punctuation, just wrote it almost like you'd write an essay before editing it. And then afterwards I took that and made the song. Right? I started making lyrics. But I've also when we're talking about writer's block, I have a song I wrote about writer's block. There's no plan with that. I didn't sit there and go, I just sort of in the feelings of hating the inability to write, I was like, I'm just gonna write a song. And then I started writing, and the lyrics were like, I can't fill the page or something. Like those were the lines that I was writing down. And of course, but yeah, I mean, there's songs I've also really. I mean, I can get into any one of my songs and really feel it, but there's songs where the idea of the song gave me that. There's a song I'm writing currently. It's based off of people's responses about a quote they have. And the lyrics are going to be those responses. So whatever, live, laugh, love, right? Something, it might even be, or something really specific, right? And I'm writing a song based off of their responses. And the idea for that was like, adrenaline rush. I was super excited, and like, that gave me that kind of like, weightless, inspired feeling. I haven't even played it. So I think there's both.
I get the idea that Anthony and Brendan have notebooks, and Al doesn't.
I have random pieces of paper, so yeah, but not. Yeah, I don't really have a notebook. I just grab like whatever piece of paper is on hand when I need to write something down. So.
I noticed archive.
No, once I have written a song, I'll like write it up like really nicely on the computer with words and chords, and sometimes I'll even like write out the full score like in like my music notation software, just so I have like a permanent record. But that's after the song is finished, and after I've played it out several times, I'm really happy with the way it is. But while I'm writing the song, I don't really have like a notebook. I just have like scattered notes and things like that. Yes, I do. I have a EP on Spotify called Songs with Scott. Yeah.
Are you online?
I'm trying to be. I've actually recently gotten in touch with a few people that own their own studios, and so there's stuff that's hopefully soon, within the year, that'll be a thing. No, I was going to add on that I do have a notebook and I do write stuff down, but more times than not, I actually don't. I'll forget to, and that's why there's a lot of unfinished songs I have. Or sometimes I've started doing this thing within the last few years where I'll record myself, like just singing, and I won't even like, I'll just like put my phone face down, so at least I have it, and so most of my phone storage is filled up with videos.
Can I add one thing? There's a there's a good thing about like not writing down your lyrics, and it's if you play it a couple of times when you first write it, and then you don't write it down, and then you remember it tomorrow, then it's like a good test to see how good a song lyric actually is. Because if you remember the melody and you remember the lyrics, other people are also going to remember the melody and lyrics. If you forget the song tomorrow, then maybe it wasn't, yeah.
That's true. Back when I used to manage bands and I was looking for new acts to sign, one of my litmus tests was I would listen to their original songs, and if I found myself singing some of those songs the next day, then I knew that was probably, they wrote some pretty good songs. If I couldn't, couldn't remember what their songs sounded like, or it didn't get caught in my head or wasn't catchy enough, then I was like, they're probably not as good. Oh, that's true. That's what's progressive rock, which is a whole different animal. Fair enough. Okay, well, time for our final round. So, Anthony, we'll let you go first.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Vague answers. Have either you or you had a song you wrote and stuck in your head? Your own song.
Has your own song gotten stuck in your head?
It's
every time I write a new song.
It's not every
That's what it is. That's it's stuck, and then you have to give birth to it, right? That's how you get it out of your head.
Sometimes I'll remember songs so well that I wrote that it'll give me like a headache because I can't stop singing it in my head. So I'll do it for like 3 hours as soon as I get up, and I'm like, please stop.
I bet Paul McCartney felt the same way about Hey Jude.
Yeah.
Composition.
I'm just imagining in the morning. What song is this? It's really cool.
Yeah.
That's why there's coffee.
So this one is one that I wrote even more recently than the other new song, this one I also wrote this month, and I wrote it 2 weeks ago. And I like it when I write songs because it makes me have an accomplished feeling. Anyways, this was written because I have a really hard time falling asleep at night. Because school messed up my sleep schedule because I had so much homework, and now I can't go to bed even if I try before like 11:30, which is no bueno. So then I wrote this song about it. Because, when you're tired at 11:30 at night, there's nothing better than to not go to sleep and then write a song about it. It's good inspiration. It's the light bulb. Well, it's 11 o'clock on a Friday night, and I just want to go to sleep. I did all I could do, and now I'm alone again. Did I dream of you last night? Did I dream of you last night? Coming home. Why must we try so hard to be alone? Why did you have to tell me I was wrong? And life goes on. Well, it's midnight, Tuesday morning. My head, it must have fallen off with my mind. Did I dream of you last night? Did I dream of you last night? Did I dream of you last night? Did I dream of you? Coming home.
This is a song that I originally labeled No, I Won't Stop Playing Now. It's now called Patrick, since it's my brother. The song is originally about an argument with somebody. It was very imagination. Like, I've never had this argument, but it's totally a thing I would have with my brother. But it would be basically somebody telling you to keep the noise down and to stop playing because it's too loud while you're playing, right? And then that was kind of how I wrote it. But then later on after playing, I remember I was like, that's something that Patrick would say to you, and something we would argue about if we were younger too, especially like just stupid stuff. And so I was like, yeah, no, it's Patrick. It's my brother's name. So it's just, it's kind of a fun song too. And it was, I think I might have played it either like the first, I definitely played it the first gig I had here. And definitely one of the first few openings I had. So, yeah.
Music's in my bones, it's in my blood. You won't let me stop now. Oh, I won't stop playing this guitar. You won't make me stop now. And I won't, even if you stop for you right now. No, I won't, even if you try. I won't stop for you. So don't you let the door slam on your way out. No, no, I won't stop playing this guitar now. No, I won't for you. If you don't like it now, you can leave. And I don't care that it's too loud for you, 'cause I won't stop playing this guitar. But if you learn some, please be quiet now. Don't want to leave, then I suggest stay a while and put stand in the bounds I don't, and I'm stopping now. I won't die from this ticket. Stop my horse for you. Won't stop now. No, I won't. Oh, no, no. Won't stop playing this guitar now. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I won't stop.
That's cool. I could actually hear like drum and bass parts in the background. I don't know. Could you hear them too? Yeah, I was picturing them. Yeah. Yeah, I could hear the other parts. You'll have to like find a bass player and a drummer to collaborate on that one. Yeah, very nice. All right, our final. Oh, first off, I should probably say it's a last call for espresso drinks. So if anybody needs extra espresso caffeination, this is your final chance to do it tonight. You can always come back first thing in the morning if you need some here. So there you go, last call for espresso drinks.
Thank you.
And now, you're welcome. And now, we'll have Alec close us out for the evening with... Yeah, it just echoed down there. We started here. Last call started here and then flowed down to the bar. Kind of cool how that works. All right, tell us about this song.
Now this song is called Ursa Major. I kind of had three separate things sort of came together to make this song. I'm talking about like things brewing inside me. First was I sort of discovered that chord. I didn't invent it. This is the first chord of a Simon and Garfunkel song, but it's just a variation of a G chord. It just sounds so interesting. So I was like playing with that chord, which is a C major 9, that chord, which is like a sus2, like all these like the F major, not all these like really open sounding chords that I was playing with, and it was just giving me this like really wistful feeling. Around the same time, I had this phrase pop into my head, which was "Cheers to a fallen time of year." It must have been like fall. Kind of thinking about what that word means. And then the other thing that happened was I was watching like Planet Earth on Netflix, and there's this part about a polar bear that has 2 cubs, and when that happens, the chances of both of the cubs surviving is pretty small. And I learned that polar bears don't actually hibernate during the winter; they give birth during the winter, so they wake up in their den. And so those all came together to form this song called Ursa Major. It's about a mother bear going into her den for the winter, contemplating what's about to happen. It goes like this. Cheers to a fallen time of year, mellow brand of air, my sleepy little bear. Long time here, long time here. Child of a cold and windy wild, of a dark and dusky day, of a fear to try again. Long night at home, long small and bright. All along you were waiting. Baby, mine, we'll be fine. It's okay. Long time here, long time here. Child of a cold and windy wild, of the dark and dusky den, of a fear to try again. Long night at home, long time ago. Thank you. Thanks, Brother Josh.
Thank you. That was fantastic. Well, I'd like to thank all of our. What were we going to say?
I was just saying the chord progression would be something like the Foo Fighters. A little bit.
You're right. I hadn't thought of it. You're very good. Yeah, it was great. Beautiful. Well done. And, you know, because it has like a winter theme, it actually cooled me off, which is nice because, you know, it's like 110 plus freaking degrees outside. So I needed that. That's a great way to close the night out tonight. When I walk outside, I'm going to think about the polar bear in a good way, not in a tragic way, but in a good way. Yeah. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming and sharing your talents and your stories tonight. It was fantastic. Why don't you all come up here and take a bow together? Then, yeah. Yay! All right. Thank you so much. We're going to keep doing this, our little songwriting around thing. We like to get at least one a month. So stay tuned for more info. And thank you for sharing your stories. A lot of people that didn't come out, they were watching online. So we had a big audience online tonight that really enjoyed it. So
Thank you, Father Josh, for
hey.
making a place for us to meet.
Heck yeah, I love it, man. This is great.
And for like, you know, last minute cancellation and just being like, you want to film it? I wasn't even. This wasn't planned.
Yeah, you weren't planned or prepared at all. It was
And
great.
so,
It adds the spontaneity to the event. So good.
And it was nice to be able to do it with people, and I would do it again.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone online. Thank you, Sam. Sam on sound. Just kind of hides in the corner like that. Good job. All right. Well, we still have we have 8 minutes before we close, so you can mingle and talk amongst yourselves and get to know each other better.